Some people manage their money better than others, and they're good at it. They know what's coming in and what's going out. Then you have the other people that struggle with managing their money, keeping track of what's coming in and what's going out. In this video, I'm sharing how to track your money flow as you begin to bid contracts, or if you're already bidding contracts, so that you can keep track of the money flow. And I'm going to be sharing some information you need to know. Hey, I'm Felicia. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the community. Over here, we talk everything government contracting and everything in between. Make sure, if this is your first time and you have not, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you get notified when we drop new videos right here on the channel on Thursdays and when we go live on Tuesdays. And do me a personal favor and hit the like button. I've helped thousands of people in my community with tracking their money, especially as they begin to bid on contracting opportunities. It becomes very important to be able to track your money flow when you're managing projects. Let's start with how to track it. And we're talking about money, of course, but let's get into that. So I have some things here. I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. One, we want to make sure you track your receipts, so you can keep your receipts. I like to keep my receipts in an envelope. Let me show you. It's right here on my desk because I like to do Money Mondays. If you have not heard, here is my little handy dandy envelope that I keep all my receipts in. So that's really, really simple. See, I got my receipts in there. You can even put them in the back if you want. So definitely keep track of all your receipts. It's very, very important. Plus, you may want to match it up against the bank account and make sure they didn't overcharge you, because sometimes that happens too. You also may want to have separate bank accounts. Now, in last week's video, as it pertains to payroll, I really encouraged you to have multiple bank accounts for that reason. But you may want to have multiple bank accounts for other reasons, and that's cool too. You know, maybe if you have several different projects and you want a separate bank account for each project, just so that everything is clean and the money is hitting the right accounts. And so you're making sure that the charges for one particular project is not being charged to the wrong project, that kind of thing. So you can do it for that reason as well. But make sure you have separate bank accounts at the very least for you personally as well as your business. So you don't want to commingle those funds. Also, you want to track your income, the money coming into your business. I actually have a spreadsheet that I use that I just like to track the money as it hits my bank account on a daily basis, just so that I can see how much money I've made to date this current month, how far am I off from my goal for this month, and then I can think of, okay, what can I do to hit my goal, okay, and hit it sooner rather than later. So I'll definitely share that spreadsheet down below. If you want to use it, take it, tweak it, and make it your own. And you also want to track your expenses. Now, we can't foresee all the expenses that we may have in our business, but definitely your fixed expenses, the things that you're paying on a reoccurring basis, month in and month out, you can definitely track those expenses as well. And here's what this allows you to do. When you're tracking your income and your expenses consistently, you can always look at your bank account and say, do I have the resources to pay the expenses for this month? Do I have the resources to pay myself this month or this payday? So it's very, very important that you have a pulse on your money at all times. Not some of the time, but all times. I was even reading one of Damon John's books of Shark Tank, and he says the same thing, that you should always know your numbers. Like if I ask you, for example, if we were talking about an opportunity you wanted to bid, and we're thinking, okay, you're going to have to float the project until it floats itself. And I say, can you float this project? And you don't know the answer. One or two things. Either you don't know how to bid, and so you don't know what the numbers are, what it's going to cost you to float the project, or 2, you don't know how much you have in your bank account, or 3, you know neither. And that's a bad place to be. So make sure you are tracking your money every day. Another key thing I like to do is, even with my expenses, like I said, you have your fixed expenses, or you may have something that you know is going to hit in the current month. I even keep a spreadsheet of my expenses for the month, like my fixed expenses. And if I know something's going to happen in this current month, and maybe it only, I have to only pay it once a year because I do it annually, then I'll pop that in as well. But I always like to know what my expenses are for the month. How much have I already paid out on expenses, and how much do I still owe on expenses for the month? Because I can still, again, look at my bank account, see how much I have. Do I have enough to cover the expenses or the remaining expenses? And if not, do I need to generate some more income to make that happen? Another thing you can do is not one of my favorites just because of my mindset and my mentality, but a lot of people like to use budgets. I didn't say budget, right? I said track your income. I said track your expenses. I said I use a spreadsheet and things like that. So I didn't say have a budget, but you definitely can create a budget. And my financial advisor is probably just like in awe right now if he's watching this video, because he always had me do a budget, but I do the budget. But I assume if I don't have enough to cover whatever I need to cover, then I need to go make some more money. I'm not going to take away from what I need for my business or from what I want. Instead, I'm like, okay, how can I get it, right? So that's my mentality. But if that's not yours, that's cool too. I'm just sharing a little bit about me. Definitely set a budget. You may have a monthly budget of what you will spend outside of your fixed expenses, and that's cool too. And let me tell you, when you're first starting out, that's really something that'll come in handy, because it'll keep you in a structured place so that you're not spending more than you're making. But the goal with government contracting for you is to what? Make more money, right? Make more money to where you don't have to have a budget, right? To where you have enough to cover all of your expenses, and you have a surplus at the end of every month. And then you're building on that surplus. That's what we want to see happening for you as a government contractor. Let me know down in the comments, how do you track your money? Are you a pencil and paper type person? Do you use some type of spreadsheet? Or are you using some type of software? Let me know, how are you tracking your money, your income, your expenses? Are you doing a budget? Let us know in the comments. Let's have a conversation about that. Now, we talked about ways you can track your money. I've told you about spreadsheets I use and things like that. I'm going to share the link down below. But what about getting into a software system? My favorite, and I've used many, and I've even taught these various softwares at the college level, but my favorite is QuickBooks. I love QuickBooks. Right now, I'm using QuickBooks Online. You could use the same thing, and it'll help you with tracking your numbers. It will help you with automating some things where you don't have to manually input. You can sync up your bank account, credit cards, and things like that. And it'll spit out the reports for you. All you have to do is click the button. It'll tell you how much money you have. Click the button. It'll tell you what your expenses are for this month, last year. It goes back. So as long as you put the information into the software system, it is there for you. So now you don't have to do a bunch of adding and subtracting and, oh my gosh, did I hit the wrong key? I don't know. Let me check it 3 or 4 times. You can just pull up the report and it will give you all the information you are seeking. So definitely, if you're not in an accounting system, definitely consider getting into one. And remember, it is just a cost of doing business. It's not very expensive either, so keep that in mind. But it'll definitely help you when you have to bid opportunities. Sometimes they will ask to see your financials because they want to make sure you have a financially stable company. They want to make sure you know how to manage money before they start putting all this money into your bank account, right? They want to make sure you're able to manage all of that, and that tells them that you are via your financial statements. So You don't want to be in a situation where they say, hey, you need to submit your financials. I've seen it happen too many times. And say it's July and you haven't done any of your books this year. They want to see your up-to-date financials. So now you have to find somebody to do from January to July really quickly, because you know bids are due what? Within a 2-week time frame a lot of times, sometimes less than that. And so now you're behind the 8 ball. Let's be proactive in our money management activity. So definitely look at QuickBooks. Again, there's other softwares out there, whatever floats your fancy, but look into a automation or a software that'll help you automate as much as possible and get your numbers in order. Now, in using an accounting system, let me tell you the things it's going to tell you. It'll tell you when you received the payment, how much was the payment, who did the payment come in from, and what it was for. All of that at your fingertips. It also produces the reports that you may need if you find yourself doing any of the following: applying for loans, filing your taxes, which you should be doing that. When you need to pull information to fill out a document and they need some type of numbers, you can definitely go to your financials and pull that. When submitting on government contracts and they request your financials. When buying a home, did you know that? If you're a business owner, yes, and you don't have a W-2 or anything like that, they may ask for financials, and more than likely they will. When purchasing a car, even if you're refinancing your home, maybe you're trying to buy something, depending on what it is, a product or something like that, they may require financials. It can also produce your K-1s that you use to file your taxes. It can also produce your 1099s that you're required to file with the IRS. So let me tell you, being in an accounting system will save you a lot of time and a lot of headache. Oh, and depending on which accounting software you get into, a lot of them have payroll services as well. So they'll process your payroll for you, give you your own W-2 at the end of the year. They pay out your taxes for you and things like that, just depending on if you have the full-blown service, just, depending on what you get. But most accounting software systems that also do payroll can facilitate those services as well. You always need to know your numbers. And when you're in an accounting software like QuickBooks, for example, and you have their mobile app, all of the data, all of the information is always right at your fingertips. There you have it. What information you need to be tracking as it relates to your money management. You also know accounting software systems that's out there available to aid you and make your life a whole lot easier. Now the decision is yours. What are you going to do to start managing your money better, more effectively, if you're not doing the things that I just shared with you in this video? What decisions are you going to make? What actions will you take? And by when? Commit to that. Now, if you're bidding contracts right now, I would encourage you to get your money house in order as soon as possible. Now, if you need help with getting your accounting system, your flow of managing your money in order, I do have a training that I did. It's called Your Bookkeeping Routine. You can definitely check that out. I'll put the link down below. If you're getting into QuickBooks, I have a QuickBooks training that I also created that you can use to set up your QuickBooks and start managing your money inside of QuickBooks. I'll put that link down below as well. Those are resources that you can use to jumpstart your money management system. All right? And remember, you are just one contract away. Until next time, I'll see you right back here real soon. Bye for now.